What do you see? 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords. Which 10 is missing? The 10 of Pentacles, right? So that makes sense with the 7 coming up there. So, I mean, whenever we get 10s, they are the completions of cycles. And it's, you guys are shutting shit down all over the place. All over the place. Everything that can end, it's being ended now. So we have, with the 10 of Wands, let's start off. Let's go through this. We'll do it systematically, one card at a time. 10 of Wands is being overburdened with commitments and responsibilities. It's this burden that you've been carrying for a long time. And it's time to drop it, right? You're there, you're at home. I want to say this as well. Those people that were saying that they feel the Tower energy, that's going to happen when you've got Uranus, sorry, some people don't like the anus in that, but you know, Uranus, when you've got that planet in your sign, that's, you feel like everything's unpredictable. You feel like the rug is going to get pulled out from underneath your feet any minute. Now, it's worse than that because you feel like that's going to happen, but you're also overburdened. You're carrying all this stuff. So it's like, I'm not just going to fall over. I'm going to drop everything else that I'm carrying as well. So that can be overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming when you're in that energy. But yeah, when I see 10s like this, these are cycles. I mean, I see 9s as the completion. 10 is the outcome. What is the outcome of that cycle? And then we're ready to go again with the aces, right? So the implication here is that aces are coming in. This is a lot of pressure. This could be, when the 10 of Wands comes up, it either says, you know, put down the burden if you can, or get help carrying it. Is that why what's at the heart of this reading is the 10 of Cups? A lot of you are doing this, you're carrying this because of this, because of the dream, because of the end game, because you know this is what I want. This is my happily ever after. I will carry this load until I get to this. And I want to say this to you guys as well. It's what I advise people to do as well. Even when I'm doing readings, even when I'm coaching people, whatever. What is your focus on? What is your focus on? And your focus is on this, which is good. It's at the heart of the reading, the 10 of Cups, right? Completion of an emotional cycle, yes, but you want to reach your heart's desire and to share that with people that you love. You don't want to be carrying crap on your own anymore. You want your equivalent of what this image shows, which is this couple kind of snuggling in front of a fireplace, and even the bloody cat's all blissed out. Now, I mean, with this coming up, it can be that, you know, the burden so much that it's distracting you from that. That's the advice to look at this. Something happened in the past, whether it was last week, last month, last year, whatever. A decision was made. A decision was made. A path was picked that has taken you in a different direction. And you know, you might have had to have made a difficult decision or go in a direction that you weren't used to going in. Something that you've never done before because of this, because of the dream that you want. Taken on a new burden because of this. Now, I'm looking at this. And yeah, that's the past. Last week, last month, last year, like I said, right? Crossroads. But how do we go from a decision? And I don't know if, usually with the 2 of Wands, a decision is made and we walk down that path. We know, that's the whole point of it. It's not enough just to decide. It's the action that we take. Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. But this, the opposite thing here. I almost get the sense that you walk the walk before you had talked the talk. Why am I saying that? It's because the Knight of Swords is here. Does that make sense? I hope that does. I'll try to explain it a little better. So the Knight of Swords goes in and he's going to fight for his truth. He knows what he believes and he's going to go and fight for it. He's going to go fight for it. Whenever the Knights come up, and you know what, I've noticed that a lot of the fixed signs have been getting the Knight of Swords and stuff. The Knight of Swords is, it's not the king and it's not the queen. So it might be a newly formulated truth. It might be a conversation that you've not had to have before. It's underneath the 10 of Wands. It might be, hey, I can't do this by myself. It might be that, you know, or if, you know, sometimes it's not even that I can't do it by myself. It's get out the way and let me just do it. Just get out the way. You're just delaying me. I just want to get this so I can put this down. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for each of you. But with the 10 of Cups coming up, this can be family. This can be loved ones, and family is more than blood, right? So it can be the group that we're with, or we're doing it for the group or whatever. But it kind of feels like there's a conversation that needs to be had around this. Now, sometimes it can be our loved ones, our family telling us that, Taurus, why are you taking on so much? Or why are you doing this? Or, you know, this solution is for you not, it's just to dump the load, dump it, get rid of it. But I'm not getting that here. I mean, usually the 10 of Wands is about putting it down, but not when it sits right next to the 10 of Cups, which is where, you know, by carrying this, I'm going to get to my happy ever after. I'm going to get to that thing that I want. Someone said there's a burden to success. Absolutely. That's the kind of energy that comes in. That's why you can't always read the cards as, you know, 10 of Wands. You can't always say, hey, dump the burden. I get the sense this is for a lot of you. Some of you, it might be that, but it's something that has to be said about this. The Knight of Swords. And I don't think you've ever said it before. I don't think you've ever had to have this conversation before. That's why the Knight's coming up. Now, what would stop you from speaking your truth? What would stop you from going for what it is that you believe in? Because don't forget, this is a projection into the future, right? Where I am now. We got the 10 of Swords here. Now, the 10 of Swords, oh, for some of you, this just came through. For some of you, this is saying that I'll deal with the aftermath afterwards. I'll deal with it afterwards, because this is dealing with something that's happened. I'm good. What's coming to mind is when I was really ill, and I've said this before, if you guys have followed me for a while, you've heard this. 7 years I spent in a bed. And when I was going through it, I did not really deal with it. You know, you're in survival mode. You're in carry the pains, the aches and pains. Let me get through this. Let me just get through today. And I did that for 7 years because that's survival. That's how you get through it. You just one step at a time, one step at a time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it wasn't until I got better. I actually got better after 7 years. That's when my 10 of Swords happened. When it hits you, what you've been through. When you kind of understand that. Look at what I had to endure to get to this place. And you kind of feel like you're at rock bottom. And I wasn't. Physically, I was great. You know, I was healthier than I had ever been. I was out. I walked to the end of my street for the first time in 7 years when that happened. But that's when I actually needed counseling. I had to go speak to someone because this is what happened to me. 10 of Swords. The thoughts, the understanding that, you know, wow, what have I just been through? But have a look at the 10 of Swords, and I point this out to everyone. And I love the 10 of Swords in this deck, by the way. Yes, usually it's the guy with 10 swords in his back, right? But here, the 10 swords aren't in his back. And yet, he still stands there as if he's captive. Hands behind his back, bindings around his wrist, but he's not. They're hanging free. He's still trapped there because he's holding his hands together. He's still, you know, assuming the position, I guess, you know, that this is what happened. Why? Why is that? 7 of Pentacles came up with this. All right, I want to say this to you. Please, 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 Taurus, trust yourself. Trust that you knew what you were doing when you took on this burden, when you took on this work. The dream that you have. This is doubt to me. This is doubt. 10 of Swords. What am I going to have to deal with? Because you've got the 7 of Pentacles coming in. This is about how much effort you've put into something. The 10 that is missing is the 10 of Pentacles, right? 10 of Coins. That is long-term security and stability. Yep. I mean, the rest of them are all fine and dandy. Creative project that's become too much, you know. 10 of Cups, emotional happiness. 10 of Swords, the thoughts, the ideas, you know, dealing with the aftermath of the nightmares of a situation. But the 10 of Pentacles is the legacy. It's our life's work. It's what we want to be known for. It's the relationship that lasts until we're old. It's that job that we do until we, you know, have a pension. It's the home that we build for the family. That's the 10 of Pentacles. long-term stability and security. And that's what it's telling you to understand, that you're doing all of this for a reason. Don't lose sight of the purpose or the reason behind what you're doing. Sorry to say this, Taurus, it feels like a very much a kind of keep going, but communicate where you are. That's the whole thing. There might be people around you that don't understand, and they don't need to understand. That's not the point. He's not going to stick around and explain shit to people. He's going to blurt out his truth and then dart off and do whatever he's doing. That's what the Knight of Swords does. Because your advice is the Three of Wands. This is actually one of the manifestation cards. And it's not the part of manifesting where we figure out what our heart wants. It's not the part of manifesting where we sit there and do whatever, that, because you already know what your heart wants. This is where it tells you what you put in, you will get back for this. The Three of Wands, I would see, he's waiting for his ships to come in. How does he know? How does he know that's his ship? How is he waiting there? Like in some of these decks, there's not even a ship coming in. He's standing there waiting because he knows the ship is going to come in. This is about your expectations. And it sits underneath the 2. This is the next step. I know it feels like you're not progressing. I know it feels like, I've been doing this forever. Am I getting back what I want? This kind of patience, unfortunately. But I kind of get the sense that you're shutting everything down. When you're trying to reboot the whole system, but you have to shut down each thing. And it kind of feels like you've shut everything down. 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords, for better or worse. Some of you might be zombies at this point with this kind of coming in, whereas you just shut your stuff down to get through this. For others of you, you're great with it. You're like restarting the system. You're like, nope, done with that, done with that, done with that, that kind of energy. But the Three of Wands is telling you, why would you not get it back? You had the idea, the spark at the beginning. You've taken it in another direction. You've put in a shit ton of work here. So when that boat comes in, it's telling you the boat's going to come in, but what's your next plan? What are you going to do with that? What's the next step that you take? Because this is the sticky moment here. This is where, fears, doubts, you were trapped. I can't do anything. I'm at rock bottom. It kind of feels like that, the moment before a breakthrough. And I hate to say it because it's so cliche, but it's always darkest before dawn. But that's the kind of energy that's coming up here. And usually in the Ten of Swords, it is dawn. The sun is starting to come up over the horizon.